Yeah, and what about our pro case roster? We've had a few more registrations since we last talked, but just really the event as a whole too.
Yeah, pumped. It just keeps slowly but surely getting in, like, a registration here, a registration there of guys that really fire us up. Like Rocco Zamblin, I thought was the best we'd ever seen him at the state games this past summer. Joliet Catholic left-hander. He signs up, who knows what his offseason has looked like. Like, it would not shock me if he's sitting low 90s at that thing from the left side, throwing strikes. His breaking ball had gotten better at the state games. Dylan Kassab, Indiana commit, former future gamer. To me, he's one of the best right-handed bats in the class. He's at Hinsdale Central, going to Indiana. Excited to see him. And then the one that I'm pumped about, and it pumps me up because I know our Wisconsin guys are fired up about it. Like, they've been advocating for him for Super 60, and the Super 60 is crazy tight right now. Like, we've gotten in a ton of our, top tier first invites that Shooter Hunt sends out. A bunch of those guys have registered, so the event's almost full. But Chance Ruby out of Wisconsin, UIC commit, he's got huge tools, and he's also like a big time in-game performer, a guy that can stay on the infield, the left side. They've been advocating for him, first Super 60, and it's one of those things like, hey, Chance, hands are kind of tied right now. Like, get into the pro case. There's going to hopefully be a ton of pro scouts there. It's a couple days before the Super 60. You never know what can happen. You go there, you run a 6.4, you put on a show in BP, show some big time infield actions. Like, we always try to keep one or two spots for that Super 60 open. So who's that guy? Like, something to look out for in 2026. Like, who's that guy from the pro case this year that's going to earn their invite to the Super 60? I'm really excited to see, who kind of just comes and performs in that environment.
Hey, one thing I wanted to touch on that we talked about last week on our meeting, but we didn't record last week, so we didn't touch on it. Drew, I will say, as a competitive person myself, it's hard to say this, but Team Locascio, according to the people, did win our holiday draft. So congrats to Drew, Dane, and Nick for that for that win there. If you missed it, we basically just drafted a team. Hammett was our team captain with myself and Tyler, and we drafted a team from the 2027 class for last week's kind of holiday special episode, and we put out a graphic, and the votes were in that Team Lacaccio's group was the winner. And basically, we were assuming it would be a 3-game set, a 3-game series, and people thought that Team Lacaccio would win that one. So it does hurt me to say that, but congrats to Drew and the boys.
And I don't know if Tyler is going to jump in here. It fires me up that many people voted, for the teams. Like, that's awesome. So shout out to the listeners and anybody out there that put their vote in. Love to see that. Just, I think it's at least for me, like, it was a really cool way to continue to highlight these 2027s and just the real elite talent coming through the state. Plenty of like uncommitted guys still on that list too. Plenty of guys we could have mentioned that we didn't. I know, like, one guy that stood out to me that it's like, man, like, nobody chose him. I don't think I mentioned him because he was definitely in the mix, but like Colin Schweigen at Rockridge, that guy's highly, highly talented and would love it. I think ceiling wise, like, he's been a big time football player. If he continues, like, I think he's just one of those guys that's going to continue to pop a little later. But if he does kind of focus on baseball, man, like, look out, because the jumps there could be quick. But a huge fan of him, and he definitely deserved to be mentioned. So that was one thing for me. It was just shout out to the people that were voting on that, paying attention to it, because it was a lot of fun to do.
I know what the people voted, and that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. All I'm gonna say, one of our guys reached out. Omar Avalos was ready to put the ball on the field and play tomorrow, and was like, "We got to make this happen." So all I know is Team Hammett's guys were hungry and ready to play right away. I don't think we heard anything about Team Lacaccio's guys reaching out and saying, "Hey, let's play," So I'm not saying Team Lacaccio's team was scared to play, but I'm not saying it. So
if there's a way to figure this out and like get these guys or the majority of these guys to play, I think it would be so fun. So like putting it out there to the universe here, like if there's a way we can make this work, like let's do it. I know we were throwing around some ideas, but the summer's hard enough as it is to figure out schedules and dates, and whether it's tournament showcases, all these different things going around the country, whether it's stuff we're doing or other competitors or whatever. It's extremely hard, but there's been some internal chatter on what to do. So if the response and feedback is strong enough, man, I think we do it. We almost make it like a Pro Bowl thing. I think Dane, you might have brought that up, and it's like, hey, okay, if this person can't go because they're playing Team USA or they're at this event, then it's like, all right, like who's the next up? Let's continue the draft. Because that would be elite talent on one field, especially like with some bragging rights on the line. So who knows? Maybe that's something coming down the line. We'll have to see. But I love that call out, Tyler.
And one shout out that I just had to make here was the Max Clark Slugfest over in Indiana. I believe I'm kind of making this up, but I think it's true. That's in Franklin, Indiana. It's just south of Indianapolis, which is where I believe Max Clark is from. But we had some Illinois guys down there, and if I'm missing anybody, just let me know. But I think I saw Brady Cunningham, Blake Ragsdale, Jackson Tucker, Tristan Steger, Carver Cone. I don't know if there's anybody else, but I mean, I know Josh Fields, one of our Wisconsin guys, was down there, and he was kind of pumping out some videos for both Illinois and Wisconsin guys. But if I did miss anybody, feel free to hop in.
Well, Sushi Wilson was there, but he's in Florida now. But yeah, it looks like, all the Illinois guys showed really well, which is, I mean, really legit for an event like that, like with that quality player. It was awesome. And even like Wisconsin, like Dom Santarelli was there, and he looked like an absolute mega guy. He was hitting balls like 115 miles an hour. Looks like he put on another 20 pounds of muscle. Yeah, it was a fun thing to follow on Twitter.
I was going to shout that out too, Gav. That's a great call. And Pete, I love that you mentioned Wisconsin, because I think Dom Santarelli was on the winning team. And every tweet I saw, it was like 110 plus, which is just freakish for high school guys. And then, yeah, the Illinois guys getting a ton of love. Gav, I think you did hit on all of them. I was trying to think who maybe you missed, but no, a ton of high-level guys in Illinois made the trek down there, showed out, and just a really, really cool event. I was following along on social, and glad that Illinois was well represented, as other states. There was a kid out of Ohio at 2028 that was getting some love. Jake Goschel or something like that. I apologize if I'm just butchering that, but he looks like the next up-and-coming mega guy in the Midwest. I was loving that swing, and it looked easy and athletic and all kinds of huge numbers popping off that bat. So really cool event. Illinois guys getting in the mix with some of the best talent in the Midwest and in the country. And shout out to Max Clark, like letting us, Prep Baseball Indiana and Cooper Trinkle and all that be involved and kind of run this thing.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the Sean Dunlap video either, but I'm really excited to see that kid, the Super 60. I think that kid's an absolute stud.
Yeah, didn't the winner or the winning team, I don't know if you guys saw I think Max Clark got them like a big diamond chain or something. Did you guys see that? Or was that?
I think he might have just been wearing that. I think
Max Clark was?
I think so. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I saw
him like put it on somebody's.
Okay.
I think it was Dunlap maybe. I don't know. It was crazy though.
That's funny.